Protocols. Protocols are the set of standard rules and regulations which govern the network. Network protocols are sets of established rules that dictate how to format, transmit, and receive data, so computer network devices can communicate regardless of the differences in their underlying infrastructures, designs, or standards. To successfully send and receive information, devices on both sides of a communication exchange must accept and follow protocol conventions. Support for network protocols can be built into software, hardware, or both. TCP or IP, Transmission Control Protocol or Internet Protocol. TCP or IP is a set of networking protocols that allows two or more computers to communicate on the Internet. TCP or IP can also be used as a communications protocol in a private network, intranet. TCP or IP specifies how data is exchanged over the Internet by providing end-to-end communications that identify how it should be broken into packets, addressed, transmitted, routed, and received at the destination. TCP or IP is designed to make networks reliable with the ability to recover automatically from the failure of any device on the network. The two main protocols of TCP and IP are TCP, which defines how applications can create channels of communication across a network. It also manages how a message is assembled into smaller packets before they are transmitted over the Internet and reassembled in the right order at the destination address. IP, which defines how to address and route each packet to make sure it reaches the right destination. Each gateway computer on the network checks this IP address to determine where to forward the message. HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. HTTP is the set of rules for transferring files such as text, graphic images, sound, video, and other multimedia files on the World Wide Web. As soon as we open a web browser, the user is indirectly making use of HTTP. As the hypertext part of the name implies, HTTP concepts include the idea that files can contain references to other files whose selection will elicit additional transfer requests. When the user enters file requests in the browser by either opening a web file, typing in a URL, or clicking on a hypertext link, the browser builds an HTTP request and sends it to the Internet Protocol address, IP address, indicated by the URL, and the requested file or files associated with the request is sent back by the requested server. HTTP versus HTTPS. HTTP secure, encrypts or encodes, and decrypts or decodes user HTTP page requests as well as the pages that are returned by the web server. The use of HTTPS protects against eavesdropping, snooping, and man-in-the-middle (MITM) attacks. HTTPS was developed by Netscape. FTP, File Transfer Protocol. File Transfer Protocol (FTP) is a standard Internet protocol for transmitting files between computers on the Internet over TCP or IP connections. FTP is a client-server protocol where a client will ask for a file or a local or remote server will provide it. The end user's machine is typically called the local host machine, which is connected via the Internet to the remote host, which is the second machine running the FTP software. Generally, to access, download a file, user needs to have login ID and password to access FTP server. Anonymous FTP is a type of FTP that allows users to access files and other data without needing an ID or password. Some websites will allow anonymous FTP to visitors to use a guest ID or password. Users can work with FTP via a simple command line interface. For example, from a console or terminal window with command prompt in Microsoft Windows, Apple OS X or Linux, or with the dedicated graphical user interface GUI. Web browsers can also serve as FTP clients to download new applications. Using FTP, a client can upload, download, delete, rename, move and copy files on a server. SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. SMTP is one of the most common and popular protocols for email communication over the Internet. It provides intermediary network services between the remote email provider and the local user accessing it. SMTP is generally integrated within an email client application and is composed of four key components. Local user or client end utility known as the Mail User Agent MUA, server known as Mail Submission Agent MSA, a computer program or software agent that receives electronic mail messages from MUA and cooperates with the MTA for delivery of the mail. Mail Transfer Agent MTA is a software that transfers electronic mail messages from one computer to another using SMTP. Mail Delivery Agent MDA is a software component that is responsible for the delivery of email messages to a local recipient's mailbox. It is also called a Local Delivery Agent LDA. Searching and Local Delivery Services. IMAP, Internet Message Access Protocol, and POP, Post Office Protocol. IMAP and POP are two popular protocols to retrieve and access emails. IMAP is more popular protocol as it allows you to access your email wherever you are from many devices like a desktop, phone, laptop, and tablet. When you read an email message using IMAP, you are not actually downloading or storing it on your computer. Instead, you are reading it from the email service. As a result, you can check your email from different devices anywhere in the world. IMAP only downloads a message when you click on it, and attachments are not automatically downloaded. This way, you are able to check your messages a lot more quickly than POP. POP works by contacting your email service and downloading all of your new messages from it. Once they are downloaded onto your PC, they are deleted from the email service. This means that after the email is downloaded, it can be accessed using the computer on which they were downloaded. If you try to access your email from a different device, the messages that have been previously downloaded would not be available to you as they have been deleted from the mail server.